What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be talking about Airbnb. Specifically, there are 5 messages that I think that if you want to be a great host, you should be sending out to your guests because it'll provide them, it'll give you the ability to check in with them just to make sure everything is okay. But it'll also set expectations based on whatever's going on in your listing, whether it be house rules or even opportunities to actually make more money. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the content. Let me just share my screen right here. So we're going to start off by pulling up our messages. You can do this by going to your inbox, and I am doing this on a computer, just so you know. There's a way you can do this on a mobile, but if you need to figure out how to access your scheduled messages, you can look up a tutorial on YouTube, or maybe I'll make a video about that later. So next, we're going to pick a guest that's going to be coming pretty soon. And then click the plus button and click on schedule messages. And we're going to see the messages that I've arranged to be sent out in most cases. There are some scenarios where I might skip a message if I think it's redundant, but in most cases, these are going to be the messages that are sent. So let's go over them. The first message that I send, and these are triggered to send automatically upon a certain time frame going by. So for the sending of house rules, I have it sent 5 minutes after they book, because I do want them to be aware of the situation, because unfortunately a lot of people don't read the house rules before booking. So I like to send them a brief summary of the house rules in terms of like the key points that are probably the most important to them. So let's read. I'm excited you decided to book with me. Thank you. Information concerning your check-in will be sent later today. It's critical. I look forward to being your host. Before your stay begins, it's needed for me to communicate the following in order for me to stay within local occupation laws and to ensure a smooth booking experience for us both. So I'm letting them know that as hosts, we're held to certain standards by a local market, not just Airbnb. As we keep reading, to ensure a smooth booking experience, please review the house rules of the unit concerning no streaming of music, no pets of any kind, and no additional guests or visitors in order to avoid fees and to ensure a smooth booking experience. And then there's a link to the house rules. And at the end of all these messages, I always put this as an automated message. I'm available for any follow-up questions that you have, just so they do know. So I basically give them the most important bullet points of my house rules, and I let them know that in a nice way, if they aren't followed, fees can be applied. Now, some people might say that's a bit much. Shouldn't you be more like hospitable towards your guests? But the way I frame this message is in a nice way while still letting them know the situation. I've yet to have any pushback from it. I haven't got any bad reviews from this. So if you wanted to, you could omit this, since technically when someone books, they do agree to your house rules. I just add this as an extra reinforcement because ever since I started doing it, I've had less incidents of guests breaking house rules. So it is what it is with that. Moving on, the next message. I always have this message sent 2 hours after the booking. And this is the basic information that the guest is going to need, just such as the address of the place. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to cover exactly what's in the message. If you need to see a visual of what this is, it's on screen. But I send the check-in time, and I also send the address in this message. But the most important thing here is I don't send the information they need to actually access the unit, such as the gate codes. And always, let's read this paragraph. If you would like to check in early, I'm happy to accommodate an early check-in at a fee when possible and based on our cleaning schedules. Please let me know in advance if you would like to schedule an early check-in for higher chances of getting the request approved. So in this message, I'm basically setting up, if someone wants to check in early, hey, reach out to me. And I've had guests reach out to me saying like, hey, I would like to check in early. Then I let them know how much it's going to cost, and then they pay it, and then boom. But it might not even be on their mind because they might just assume it's not available. So put this in your standard. I call this the booking message, and then I put the address of, not the address, but the building number of whatever this unit is. Not the unit number, the building number. Okay, so that covers that message. That's message 2. Message 3, this is, I call it the date of arrival message, and I put the building number. And this message, the purpose of this is to send all the information that wasn't sent in the booking message so that the person can actually check into the unit. The reason I don't send this information in the first message is I actually have had a guest check in earlier than they're supposed to without paying for it. A lot of people, they don't actually use Airbnb enough as a customer to become familiar with the the customer experience or the guest experience. So what ends up happening is your guest has access to your check-in information that you put under check-in information in your listing. And I think that's a problem because there's nothing stopping them from checking in early. So I don't put the information there. I just say that your information will be sent the day of check-in at the time. Since my check-in is at 4 o'clock, the information concerning the gate code, which I won't reveal for obvious reasons, is sent the day of check-in at 4 o'clock at the time of check-in. If they arrange an early check-in, then I'll just edit this message and have it sent. So if they arrange a paid early check-in of 2 o'clock instead of 4, I would just change this 4 p.m. to 2 p.m. and then send it. But that's the best way to stop people from checking in when they're not supposed to, and also getting them that information in a fairly automatic way where you don't have to have much interaction with it. That's message 3. Next, the next message is not a schedule message, but this is more so if you don't have any kind of communication with your guest up to this point. So a day after check-in, if they haven't communicated with you, even though these messages have been sent, I'll send this message because sometimes there might be something going on in the unit that is just kind of bugging them. Like it annoys them. And if you send this message, it might be something that you could solve very easily, such as maybe they don't know how to operate the remote, or maybe the batteries in the remote just happened to die when they were there. You could swing by or have someone swing by for you and put new batteries in the remote. And something so minuscule like that can lead to the guest not reviewing you when you might have gotten a 5 stars. And I guess for the extreme nitpicky guest, it could lead to a 4-star review. So neither one of those is desired. I always send this if I haven't heard from them. Hey, such and such, I hope your check-in went smoothly. If there's anything else that I can do to make your stay wonderful, don't hesitate to ask. And then I say sincerely, your host, Elijah Bilel. Now that's not an automated message. That's on a case-by-case basis. So I just have it scheduled or saved in my quick replies. So that's message 4, but that one is a circumstantial. So let's move on to the last message, which is, I call it the night before checkout. And this message is all about making sure they have the right expectations about what's going to happen the next day concerning checkout. So I'm going to read it. Hello, I hope you've had a good stay so far. Your checkout is scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m. When checking out, then I basically give them the checkout instructions from here. Now, this is a little hack, and if you do this, you'll probably appreciate it, or your housekeepers will. But I put, if you check out earlier than 11 a.m., it would be awesome if you could shoot me a message letting me know, as we can start preparing for our next guest sooner. And a lot of guests will actually do this. So if they check out earlier, you can send the housekeeper in sooner, or just let them know that place is available to clean. Gives them more flexibility. I mean, it doesn't hurt to know, right? And it doesn't hurt to ask the guests. And a lot of guests, if they've had a good stay, if there's something they can do to help you out, and it's not that much effort, they will. And this is one of those things. As we continue to scroll down, I say, if you would like to extend your stay or schedule late checkout, feel free to contact me and we can set it up. So what that last part does is I basically let them know that they can extend their stay should they desire, and if those dates are available, or they can schedule a late checkout. So these are opportunities for me to make more money. See where I'm going with this? So that's the 5th message. And that's always scheduled to be sent out at 10 p.m. the day before checkout. So basically they'll see this before they go to sleep, or they'll see it first thing in the morning. Usually it's before they go to sleep though. I've had people message me asking can they extend their stay like 20 minutes after this is sent. So that's telling me most people are reading this before they go to sleep, which is good. But with that being said, that covers the 5 messages that all hosts should be sending in some form or fashion. If you like me, you've kind of automated this, so it's a well-oiled machine, and there's not much that you really need to do to communicate this stuff to your guests. They'll be aware of the house rules, and they'll be aware of the opportunity to get an early check-in. They'll be aware that they can extend their stay should they want to, or pay for a late checkout. Keep in mind that the early check-in and late checkout, those are things that it's up to you if you want to provide them or not. You don't have to, and you don't have to offer them paid. You could offer them free as a good token and maybe be more likely to get reviewed. But in my opinion, if someone does want to check in early or stay late, there should be some kind of fee attached to it. But that's just my opinion. That's how I run my stuff. With that being said, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to check out my Airbnb playlist where I cover other tactics, strategies, and just go over the operations of running a short-term rental on the Airbnb platform. You enjoyed the video? Give me a thumbs up. Helps a lot. Much appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Catch you later. Don't forget to get out there and take control of your financial destiny.